Thank you all for joining us today. We're here with Bull City Votes, and today we'll be modeling some difficult conversations that you might have when encountering potential voters.
So whether you're sitting at a table, going door to door, or driving voters to the polls, you're going to be encountering real people. So we're here to help with those real conversations.
Keep in mind that when you're having those real conversations that they might get a little difficult and you might encounter some conflict. Be sure not to run away from it and to go towards it. It'll help us ensure that we have greater voter turnout and a greater democracy.
Remember that deep canvassing is listening.
Instead of being persuasive, be personal. Remember to speak from the heart and let that person know why you're really there.
Remember, it's okay to make a mistake. That's how we learn.
And it gets easier the more you do it. You also have a team of people to help you along the way.
We're going to model how one of these conversations may go. Feel free to try this exercise with a friend.
Hey, do you have any questions about voting in the upcoming election that I can help answer?
Actually, I'm not going to be voting.
Can I ask what your hesitation is?
Honestly, I don't like the candidates on either side. I'm sick of seeing old white men in politics, and I'm done with it.
I definitely agree. Everything seems so negative in the news, but voting can actually be something really positive, and you'll be surprised to find out that not everyone on the ballot is an old white man, especially down the ballot.
I don't believe in local politics.
Can I ask you, what are some issues that you care about?
I care about the environment. I think the U.S. is doing horrible things with climate change.
Well, soil, water quality, air quality, those are all things that are voted on down the ballot and that can really impact your life. 95 elections in North Carolina were only decided by 5 votes. So locally, your voice really does matter.
I guess I didn't know that, but if I'm not already registered, can I still vote?
Yes, of course. Early voting has same-day registration.
I work full-time. I do not have time to vote. And I don't even have a car to get there if I wanted to.
Well, you could actually hop on that bus behind you right now. It'll take you to the closest early voting site. Or later, if you have more time, you could go to durhamdrives.org and just request a ride.
So this time, I'm the optimist and Lauren's the pessimist. Things have changed this year. Do you have any questions about voting in this election?
Voting? You think I'm gonna risk my life, my precious life, to go to the polls? It's a pandemic. I'm not trying to do all that.
Can I ask you this? Have you been to the grocery store?
Yeah, but I get a reward from the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? I get to eat good. What do I get from voting?
You're right, it's not instantaneous. It's hard to see sometimes why it's a good thing to vote. But the reason I vote is because it makes me feel better to feel like I'm doing something for the people I care about. What do you care about?
I care about a lot of things. I care about healthcare, education, climate change. But I feel like nothing's gonna change. I mean, this country was just founded on a load of, and we haven't really been seeming to improve over time. I mean, I've been protesting all summer, screaming for people to hear me and no one listens. So why do I think that filling out some circle is going to get them to listen? You know what I'm saying? Especially if my ballot might not even get counted.
You're right. It is frustrating to not feel like your voice is being heard, but I think it's amazing that you've been protesting all summer. I've also been in protests, and just as that's a small part of a bigger movement, I believe that voting can be a stepping point to actually changing things in this country.
Voting isn't going to change anything. I mean, people who look like me have been voting for years and years and years. We even voted for someone who looked like us, and what did we get? Nothing.
I hear what you're saying, but honestly for me, I'm not ready to give up hope in this country. Sometimes you just have to keep trying over and over again, even if it feels like you're shouting into a void.
I guess I'll take whatever information you have. Maybe I'll see you at a protest or something.
I really appreciate it.
That was a really interesting exercise. I think for me, it was interesting to confront my own skepticism about voting, but I think that it made me a better canvasser.
Yeah, I think that it was also interesting to see how easy it is to have that negative perspective about voting, because there's so much negativity in the world today. And maybe by recognizing the doubts that you might have yourself about the world, you can put yourself in the shoes of the people you're talking to and truly connect with them, which is the whole point of deep canvassing.
Be active, but don't come across as unrealistically eager. That's not personal. People can't relate to that.
Connecting and listening and truly understanding, empathy really, is the whole point of deep canvassing.
Don't focus on the candidates. Focus on the issues. People want to know how the ballot can impact them and their life.
Questions, questions, questions. To make people feel heard, ask them questions about what they care about and what's important to them.
There's a lot of confusing information about voting, so don't just shove it at them at once. Make sure that you take the time to explain what's going on and answer those questions in detail.
We're all people and we can all make mistakes. Remember, you're going to be talking to a lot of people. Have a fun time and don't be too hard on yourself.
Democracy is a collaborative effort, so don't feel like you're in it by yourself. If you're having a difficult conversation, bring in another volunteer.